Trade rumors are intensifying around the NHL, and Quinn Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens have a golden opportunity to go get Noah Dobson from the New York Islanders, who has been made available for trade. We got to talk about that. Plus, a great note on Ivan Demidov is his ranking in the new top 50 prospect rankings will have you excited. We got a lot of great stuff to get into coming up on this episode of Habs Digest. And actually, Jesse, we're going to start with a different prospect. I want to start with Lane Hutson. Now, again, if you want to skip ahead to that Noah Dobson stuff, I don't blame you. Go ahead, check it out later in the video. It's going to be amazing. There will be timestamps as always. But Jesse, right now, there's a lot of uncertainty around Quinn Hughes for the Four Nations face-off. So Team USA, they might need to find a replacement. Now, it's unsure yet what he's exactly dealing with, whether he'll be healthy. Rick Tocchet kind of threw it into question. But what I will say is, what better replacement, if he's not available to play, than Lane Hutson, our boy, the Lane train. He's basically Quinn Hughes light. And I'm going to show you the NHL leading scorers among defensemen. Look at this list. Everyone in the top 9, save Evan Bouchard for Team Canada, is on a Four Nations roster. Every American, Adam Fox, Werenski, and Hughes are all on the Four Nations roster, and then it's Lane Hutson. Jesse, look, I know it's just speculation, but I love to talk about this kind of stuff because I genuinely think he has a shot if Quinn Hughes goes down.
And really, Josh, like when we were prepping for that, you stole the words out of my mouth. Like stylistically, the best fit besides a Quinn Hughes for this team would be a Lane Hutson. In fact, as you know, we're showing here, this is the best point-getting defenseman that is not in the Four Nations. Again, this is huge when we're talking about an undersized rookie in his first year. It's like when we look at Lane Hutson and, you know, Quinn Hughes, it's like basically the only thing is separating them is that age right now. Like we can make such clear projections. Like Quinn Hughes absolutely is phenomenal. That is a loss for him if he can't be with Team USA. Like that point per game plus, emphasis on that, really, you know, obviously just doing it all on the ice. That's what we have with Lane Hutson. And I could argue, you know, like, could he be even better? That'll still be a big task, but absolutely still on the table. The reason why Lane Hutson will be considered if Quinn Hughes is at the running, it seems like a very good likelihood that's the chance, is that we know that Lane Hutson, he plays the amazing offense. Pretty good defense, underrated still for how good it is this position. But Josh, like for me, it's the compete.
Yeah.
When you come into a tournament like this and where it's like really where there's going to be some high pressure moments, like the thing about Lane Hutson is he likes to smile, likes to be happy as we do on camera, but like this guy loves to win. Like just every time, you can tell whenever the game is down by a goal, I always want Martin St. Louis to be double shifting Lane Hutson because you can just tell there's a fire underneath him when he's playing where he hates it. Like he's trying to tie that game. He's trying to do everything. Like just the effort and the work ethic, it's just palpable. So again, having a player like that in these key moments that really competes when you know it's going to be coming down to the wire is just a really good call.
I hate to bring this up again, but average compete, by the way, on that certain list that I don't want to bring up again, but you're absolutely right. Lane Hutson, like there's a fire in him. I also get if they want to go with a more veteran guy, who knows if they'll replace him, but stylistically, I don't think there's any better choice. Let me know what you guys think down below about Quinn Hughes' potential replacement if he goes down, but we got to shift to some other Habs prospects, Jesse, and Craig Button on the recent TSN top 50 affiliated prospects list. Look, not gonna make you guys wait. Number 1 is Ivan. I mean, we figured that's where we would put him. Some people maybe didn't have him number 1. You know, they have the Habs the 3rd best prospect pool in the NHL. They listed Demidov as one of the best out of the NHL prospects. Craig Button has him number 1, and no surprise, honestly. Like there are some great prospects. Ryan Leonard has 23 goals in 25 games in college this year. Alexander Nikishin is the captain of Ivan Demidov's team over in the KHL as a defenseman who has 35 points in 47 games. There are some fantastic other players outside the league, but Ivan being number 1 is fantastic. Just wanted to note that Jacob Fowler is also number 13 on this list. Great. But Ivan himself, I mean, look, I feel like we've talked about him so much, but to see him actually appearing at number 1, he's winning literally everyone over, even the neutral fans, even the haters of, you know, the Habs and draft picks. You can't deny the skill he has right now.
Yeah, and Bud's a big fan of the skill, but then also the compete, which we have to highlight just because it's not very usual for players this offensively talented, again, to really care about winning in all the zones. And this is really what Demidov brings. And there's actually some interesting context, which I feel this ranking shows. I absolutely love having Demidov there at the top. Yeah. We sometimes think of like, you know, 2 of our best offensive prospects being Michael Hage and Demidov. This ranking just goes to show how elite Demidov is. It's not a snipe against like Xhekaj in any start type of way that he's at 41, we just sometimes think, oh, these are like the most elite guys in terms of like offensive capability coming to the Montreal Canadiens in Demidov and Xhekaj. And the fact that there's such a big disconnect, Demidov at number 1 and then Xhekaj at 41 while still being one of our best offensive guys, this isn't a slight against Xhekaj at all. No. This is just saying how good Demidov is. How really, that skill, and Xhekaj has that too, but Demidov is just on that other level completely. So, I mean, getting us really excited seeing this. I think we have to shout out Jacob Fowler as well. Ranked number 13, ahead of Trey Augustine. Again, eternal nemesis there at number 20. So just loving to see a couple of our boys there represented.
Oh, so fun. Yeah, and even like Xhekaj at 41. 41 is not bad. Like, again, 32 teams in the league. To be number 41, like, it's not too bad. Like, if every team had, one top prospect, Xhekaj is like one of just many in the Habs system. He's the third best Hab, and he's still 41. That's what you got to look at. Incredible stuff from there. Leave some love for Demidov, Xhekaj, Fowler, all our boys down below. But Jesse, we're talking about the future now. And the future of Montreal, well, there's one thing they definitely need, and they need a big-time right-hand shot defenseman. Unless they just want to run like Buffalo, not the best strategy usually, sorry, but to go all left on defense. Like, we do have guys like Mayu, and Savard's probably going to get moved, and we have guys who can play on the right. We've seen Guhle able to do that. We've seen Adam Engstrom be able to do that over in the SHL. But there's a certain name that was recently been made available, and this comes from rg.org, and I'll link it down below. But Jesse, officially, according to a source, Noah Dobson is available for trade. He is Noah Dobson. I probably should have clarified that. And that is a piece the team is willing to part with, but in order to get that scoring presence that they have wanted for 3 seasons. So, the New York Islanders, Lou, they want to go after a scoring presence right now. And even Stefan Rosner, who's an Islanders writer, came in and said, yeah, according to a source report, they're shopping Noah Dobson. And they also offered Brock Nelson a 3-year extension. Kind of feels a little bit backwards. But Noah Dobson, again, this year, 24 points in 46 games. He's the number 1 right-hand shot defenseman. His scoring production's down this year. He had 70 points last year, and his JFresh card looks pretty good. The advanced analytics seem to like him. He plays 24 minutes a night. The only problem I see with this, Jesse, I think this is the perfect fit for Montreal going forward. If a guy like this is made available, you throw everything you can to get this guy within reason. The problem is the scoring forward they're looking for, especially with Vancouver and Elias Pettersson being linked in a trade for him. It might make it tough on Montreal, but look, I think Kent's got to be calling saying, hey, how can I convince you, Lou? Because these guys do not appear on the market very often.
And we might not have an Elias Pettersson, but we could have a couple players which maybe we could kind of package together. Again, with Dobson, maybe the one Dobson. Again, I like this trade. I like that we're going for a top pairing right-hand D that has a little bit of experience as well there. You really have to feel like the big knock on him is the giveaway, sometimes the turnovers, everything. If Matheson is going the other way in this trade, if Dach is going the other way in this trade, obviously, like, the best deal that we can give, what the Montreal have, their position of strength, is future-based deals, like picks, everything else. If we could kind of find a hybrid where we're giving something for right now, that kind of helps with something for the future. Like, Montreal does have the assets. They don't have an Elias Pettersson, but I believe by a package deal, you can get close to that, and everything else. So this is very interesting kind of notice going forward. I just feel like he would really fit this team in a lot of different ways. But again, you're probably wanting a Matheson to go the other way because you don't want just too many more offense. He's more of an offensive guy than defense, like not purely offensive. But again, I think just to get that balance, as we were kind of alluding to earlier, is huge, right? So I think Matheson still has that value. He's going to be, a UFA as of next year. The same thing with Dobson there. So really maybe capitalizing while there's still some value there. Obviously, we would need to add with that. But I mean, with the picks, with some prospects we have available, you have to feel like we could put together a very interesting type of proposal here. The thing for me, though, is like we can't be getting rid of a core asset. Like even like a Slavzilla, like I love him too much. This is tempting with a Noah Dobson. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't feel good. I don't think Martin St. Louis is doing that either. So, like, what's kind of like this hybrid solution that we could find with some great players right now and maybe some picks?
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like a lot of fans probably would trade Slafkovsky. Like, I don't know, maybe. But again, like, at this point, it's like, yeah, they want scoring up front, but if they're not willing to re-sign Dobson, like, how much are they looking for the now versus the future? He's 25. Do they want to sign him till he's 32? Do they want someone right in their prime already? Like, I don't know. But again, you made a great point in that Montreal has the assets, right? Right now, when this kind of trade's made available, the reason we've stockpiled our assets is to be able to even slightly overpay because, yeah, like, an Elias Pettersson, even though his advanced stats and even his counting stats have been pretty darn terrible relative to his contract since he signed it. They really have not been good. We know he's a former 100-point player. You know, like, he's still that guy, right? He's still that guy. He's proven in the NHL, and that would make a lot of sense. However, again, Montreal has so many picks, so many prospects, and even some guys that can contribute right now that I think you're right in the sense that Montreal could put together a tempting offer if they tend to overpay a little bit in terms of future assets to maybe say, look, New York, I know we're not giving you exactly what you want, but value-wise, we're outdoing these other teams. So there are some options here, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Noah Dobson is not a guy like, you don't see these guys on the market often. A big right shot to use, incredible offensively, not horrible defensively, though has some lapses. Let me know what you guys think. That'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. We're going to have to keep you up to date on all this stuff. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching so much. I'm your host, Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.